This is a panel after 5 straight days of total exhaustion with about 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep per night. So you're gonna have to forgive me. My man, let's get a mic out here for questions or for answers more specifically. So I would like to know, did everybody have a good time this weekend? That is the most important thing. I didn't want to get, too into it as we were starting the event, but the entire purpose of what we were trying to do here this weekend was essentially bring the love of this franchise back to a gathering scene and have it be affordable. Okay? We did some stuff that we kind of put ourselves out there, and we went. My team went all in to get this event going. The attendance was a little lighter than we were expecting, but everybody that I've spoken to personally, and I guarantee any other convention that you go to, you don't see the owner walking around talking to people the same way that I've tried to. So, what I want to know is, who has some suggestions of things that they'd like to see maybe improved on or additional for next year? Raise your hand and my man's going to get you a mic right here in the front. Let's start over here in the white shirt. White shirt guy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I've had an amazing time.
Thank you.
This has been my favorite convention I've ever been to. It's the only one I've ever been to where Ahmed's just walking around, like Tina Marin's is walking around, all these people just walking around. What I'd say as a cosplayer's perspective, because I'm in regular boring clothes today, I would like to see more cosplay centered things. Like I know there was a contest yesterday, but on the website it was really unclear like where it was or what time it was going to be. It just said it was here, go sign up and go do it. And I was like, oh, but what time? And then I did find it on the website eventually on like the day. But I would just want to see like more cosplay, like maybe cosplay be more encouraged or like more cosplay centered events. And I know not everyone is going to cosplay and everybody likes to cosplay, but that's just me personally. When I go to conventions, I love dressing up. I like seeing other people dressed up. But that's really the only thing I would say, to be honest. Like everything else has been perfect.
That's a very great place to start because what I would say about that, I want to take 100% responsibility for this event, the good parts and the bad parts. The way that we build our team for rebelscum.com, Order 66 Toys, all the companies that I'm involved with, okay, is we find experts. I'm smart enough to know that I don't know. I've never cosplayed in my life, okay? We had some people that had voiced a lot of interest in being the cosplay director for the event. The person that we ended up going with ended up not making the trip. We had all kinds of stuff that were going to be pop-ups, marches, all kinds of things that were that I needed that expert to handle. And unfortunately, that's someplace that we dropped the ball this year. And I guarantee you, and let me go ahead and answer the question, there will be a part 2. You came in clapping. That's got to be a good line. There will be a part 2. We're working on a possible venue, and we're working on the dates. So make sure that you guys stay tuned. All of the socials and all of that stuff. It will be in DFW for sure. One of the big things that we wanted to focus on is not traveling to other parts of the world that people might not be able to afford to get to. So we're going to be right here, a 3-hour flight from anywhere in the U.S. We're not going anywhere. As far as, like I said, man, I'm exhausted. As far as the cosplay stuff, that's going to be a very heavy focus next year. And we have some people that have stepped up in the meantime and they've said, hey, why didn't you have as much cosplay stuff? Well, I ended up not having somebody that I could trust to lead up that department. So if you know anybody, you want to nominate somebody, or you want to step up for yourself, let's have a conversation. Okay? Next question. I think this
Well, I
gentleman
just
was
want to
ready.
also thank the 501st for holding all those cosplay workshops. Essentially, that was great of them to do all those over in the room on Jawa, either Jawa building or costuming or mandoing. So yeah, they've been very excellent.
Guys, we need a round of applause for the 501st and all the clubs. Everybody that came out in outfit, I don't care what you were wearing, any effort that was made towards that was the most appreciated. It meant the world to us. Even my daughter is walking around in cosplay right now out there. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to echo that. The cosplay was amazing. The panels were incredible. I had a great time. I guess my question kind of goes back to what you were alluding to with the next year and subsequent celebrations or conventions or whatever. As far as location, is it always going to be in this spot, or are you talking about possibly moving it throughout the Metroplex? Because, I mean, it was an hour drive for me, which isn't terrible. I'd make the drive for Star Wars no matter where it would be. But more centrally located in the Metroplex, a possibility?
We're looking right here on the couple places I'm looking at is on the North Dallas Expressway corridor or the 75 corridor. It is possible that we're back in this venue next year. There's going to have to be a lot of changes. There is a lot of issues that we experienced in the vendor room that could have been alleviated with a little bit of additional support. I'm not going to get into all of that, but there's having this signer room that far away from the vendor room caused some issues. So we want to make sure that we're incorporating everything all together, and we're looking for a venue that we can do that in. How you doing?
Hi, we had a great time. We were looking for suggestions. We went to a lot of the workshops, which were really good. But on the website, it would be nice if you could click the workshop. It would give more of a description, because there were some workshops like it was Queen to something. I don't remember what the other part of it was. I had no idea what it was. So I didn't go because I didn't know what the class was about. So if there could be like a description with them, or like you could click on it and it tell you, hey, this is what the class is about, I think that would be good too.
That's a great suggestion.
And I think it was just we were one step behind that. We did have descriptions, but you had to scroll really far to the bottom. So we could definitely make that a little user-friendly in the future. Okay.
Yeah, not all of them had descriptions. There was some, once again, I want to take responsibility for that, but there was some workshops and stuff that were put on by outside people, and they just did not submit it in time for us to get it on the program.
Also with the workshops, I would like more hands-on stuff, or just better teaching, or more in-depth on explaining how to do certain stuff. Like the weathering and the Jawa one were really good, but some of the other ones weren't as informative.
Sure. What kind of stuff are you interested in seeing in a workshop as far as topics?
I guess more specifically like the Jawa one, where it was going over specifics on weathering leather and stuff like that. But maybe
Cosplay building.
yeah, more cosplay building.
Right. So that gets us back to the cosplay side of things that admittedly we can be doing a lot better, and I promise you that we will be for part 2. What's the next question, guys? Or a suggestion?
I have 2.
Go for it.
For the
By
first
the
one,
way, you look awesome.
oh, thank you. Just marketing wise, I had no idea that this was even happening until someone just sent me a screenshot off of Facebook. But I didn't see like billboards or even just driving. Great location, but there weren't even like any flags or any signs or anything that said like Star Wars convention or just anything. So it's just visibility from the marketing
All of that we
standpoint.
were asked not to do by the
Oh,
city.
really? Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Well,
Even online, though?
Not by this. As far as advertising, we had very targeted advertising to get a very specific clientele in,
Okay.
and basically we wanted to. I'm trying to decide what the best way to phrase it would be. we wanted to get the people that really, really love what we're doing and really, really love the brand. Not to say that anybody wouldn't, but the people that are going to be good shepherds of the brand and help grow the convention in the future. So our targeted ads were nationwide, but it was to people that were going to big conventions, people that were that have bought tickets to Celebration, stuff like that. So for the future, one of the major things that we're doing is non-targeted ads in addition that's just going to blanket everything. So that's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, because we love Star Wars. So if we hadn't seen it, then we wouldn't have come. That would have been really sad. But that's great. The other thing was the demonstration area that was kind of in that far back corner.
Way too loud.
Well, it's fine.
When Demetrius started this afternoon,
Yeah.
this is how loud it was. I called 4 times over the radio. They couldn't hear me.
I wasn't going to say anything about
was
the
right
noise
here.
volume. I was thinking just more of where it was. I think it would be cool, especially if the cosplay thing is kind of more of a focal point, if it's more centralized in the middle of the vendor area, to where it could almost be like, you know, if LARPers come or anybody else can kind of be like right in the middle where everyone can kind of be drawn to the middle and then go back out. So
That's a
just
great suggestion.
logistics.
I made that same suggestion during our meetings for the floor plans, and when we got our fire marshal approval back, it was moved. But yes, and that goes back to the conversation about the venue, where we need to be able to put a focus on each individual thing instead of just saying, well, here's this and this. No, it's this is where you go for this. This is where you go for cosplaying. This is where you go for the panels. This is where, and with that, we're going to have a much wider spread of advertising because we'll be able to target people that are fans of each individual thing as well as Star Wars as a whole. What else we got?
And we were talking about doing more events in the demo area as well, like Demetrius, but maybe not as loud. But having other signers come out and talk about their craft, whether they're, you know, for example, their experience operating in a droid or their experience acting in different, as many different characters, but more content in the center on the stage, wherever that might be.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So I heard about this a while ago, but I didn't really know anything until last week about where this was going to be. I heard it was going to be somewhere in Allen a couple months ago. It was really hard to try to get the word out to other people, but I feel like if next time there's more of, you know, like other people mentioned with the information spreading, I think there would be a lot more attendance.
Yeah, of course.
Also, the Mandalorian mercs and all that other stuff was awesome. The photo locations and stuff are cool. I just had a question. So I don't know if the guest signers and stuff choose the prices, but I know a huge focus of this was affordability, and that's awesome. I've never been able to go to a Star Wars convention before because prices are outrageous on a lot of them. But it's $81 to get something signed and take a picture with Ahmed Best. I guess it's just a high quality interaction, or where did that price point come from, just out of curiosity?
So we do not control the prices whatsoever, and no convention does. So that's all done through booking agents. That all has to do with guarantees and how long somebody's going to be booked at the event. So basically, the way that it works, and that's a great question because I wish that when I was your age, I had asked those questions. The way that it works is a signer is supposed to be at their booth for X amount of hours per day. During that time, you are allotting a average time spent with each attendee. Now, certain people, take Ashley Eckstein, for example. Everybody loves Ashley, but her lines are ridiculous. And because her lines are ridiculous, her price continues to go up because, well, honestly, everybody likes to make money, but it's also in an effort, her price might go up a little bit in an effort to get the lines under control. So it's like, listen, do you really want to see Ashley? Yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to pay the money. If her price was $40 for an autograph or for an interaction, you would never get to the front of the line. She would still be signing from last September. And that's the type of person she is, because she will spend 15 minutes with each person. Anybody here ever gone and seen Ashley? Am I lying?
No, in fact, to even further that, I live in Disney World, and we do the Ashley X9 day in Galaxy's Edge, and she will be there for like hours just walking around the Falcon, and there'll be a line that goes like around the entire land because people are just waiting and waiting and waiting. And even at MegaCon earlier this year, her line was like 8-9 hours every single day.
And she is the most gracious person, and I've never seen a guest that's more personable and patient with every person that they interact with. So somebody like Ahmed, his price is going to be $75 plus taxes and fees or whatever it takes to take the payment, and that's how it is. That's actually cheap for him, believe it or not. He hasn't signed in a very long time, so he's getting back on the horse and getting out and signing. And I've already seen him advertise at other events for a good amount more than he was here.
Yeah, and then my dad wanted me to ask you guys about how come there were no like authors, book signings, stuff like that. There's a lot of amazing Star Wars authors. I mean, I guess since it's the first year of Rebel Scum Con, it might have been harder to get people to sign on to that.
Timothy Zahn is a good friend of ours.
Really?
He was going to be here. We wanted him to be here. Unfortunately, I don't remember if he was in the middle of writing something new and was unavailable, or if he was currently on tour for something new. We're going to try to get him for year 2, but more specifically, there is a Star Wars novel convention coming up in March in Arlington called Legends Con. I think they actually are about to change their name, though. So look into those guys.
And part 2 is a year from now, right?
Yeah, this will be annually. Who's next? What else we got?
So actually, that just reminded me what you just said. So I'm
You
gonna
got
ask them
intercepted.
while it's on my head. Is it always going to be in summer? Is it ever going to be when it's a little bit colder? First question.
Is it ever going to be a little colder in Texas?
Well, I mean, I'm from Orlando, so like kind of the same.
And
but
I'm
at
from
least
Miami, so it doesn't bother me.
yeah.
But I spent a lot of time in Orlando as well, so I want to talk to you about that after. But we want to do. It's a great question. Most people don't know this unless you saw the first panel, the Welcome to panel. The reason that this was this weekend is because June 26th is the most important day in my career up to this point. June 26th was the day that I signed the paperwork and bought rebelscum.com.
Oh, okay.
So this was our 3-year anniversary. At this point, it's going to come down to what venue it is, where it is, and we're going to adjust our dates according to that. I'd love to stay in June and just have this be a thing that will help with advertising, where it's like, cool, every June I'm going to Rebel Scum Con. I'm going to mark out that weekend and leave me alone. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm taking my vacation days. I get it. I don't know if we're going to get to that point in the first couple of years, but like I said, man, we're not going anywhere.
Good. Okay. Second question. So mine's about food.
Sure.
So I haven't been able to eat here since I came Thursday. I've been here all weekend. I haven't been able to eat here at all, and that's just because of my dietary life or whatever you want to say. Will there be more choices in the future? Because like the bar in there is like the hotel's menu, like that's their menu. But then we had like the concession stand in there that had like, I think it had like hot dogs and a burger and things like that. And then the food trucks, which was tacos, grilled cheese, and something else. Will there be more choices, like anything else coming? Or is it always going to be like burgers, hot dogs, grilled cheese, mac and cheese, things like that?
There's definitely going to be more consideration put into what food is available. We were relying heavily on being, directly next to Panera and Market Street and stuff like that. And we were working with them, and we got back to the whole signage thing, being able to direct people that way and get them back this direction. That's realistically, that's what happened. the other thing that happened is a lot of our guests are vegan, pescatarian, right? So that's a lesson that we learned real quick, that we need to, we can't rely on outside sources. We need to have that stuff available at the venue at all times. And it's the same thing. I have a lot of dietary restrictions. So I get it, man. That's something that there will be a focus on. Yes, sir.
So follow up on our conversation from last night, which was really good. And again, thank you for everything you're doing. But I just wanted to bring up, in case you weren't going to, some more like swag in the future or opportunity for that. And if you need somebody to help coordinate that or whatever, I'm only two hours down the road. So be more than happy to help.
My man's calling a shot. Look at this. There will definitely be a focus on swag. We had 6 shirt designs. It was each design was different, but we were going to do something. I'm just a big nerd. We were going to do a light side version and a dark side version. So it was going to be the same design. I say, oh, it's a light side, dark side, so we can have, you can wear the same design and, each day of the weekend, whatever you want to do. And my wife goes, oh, you're doing couple shirts. And I'm like, what do you mean couple shirts? Oh yeah, it's like the I love you, I know. I was like, oh, all right, babe. Yeah, of course it's couple shirts. You're 100% right. So unfortunately, being realistic, when the budget was available for that, we had run out of time. So we had the art. That was one of the first things that we knocked out. Was we have one of the best art directors for any convention I've ever seen, and we're already partnering with Studio Decide for our badge art for next year. So if you enjoyed some of the art that you see, the card backs, all that stuff, all the digital media, that's all Kirk Chavarria, and he's in there set up in Artist Alley. What do you got?
So first, thank you. This has been
Thank you
our
for coming.
first con to go to, so you set a really good bar for us. This is going to be a nit, like such a little nitpick. But when we went to items over in the vendor area, the demonstrations, it's just tough. There was nowhere to sit or organize. So you had some people participating and then parents or other people that were just watching. And it just felt there was not a lot of space to kind of really enjoy what was going on
In the vendor demonstration area.
demonstration area.
So back to what I was saying a
Yep.
second ago, it was never supposed to be there.
away. Mhm.
And then by the time that we got the final floor plan back,
Mhm.
there was like our allotment, our budget for chairs here, over there.
Mhm. Done.
And then there's fire code and everything else that we
Mhm.
have to take into consideration. So that's something that was, I'm not going to say it was an add-on, because that's not what it was. That's something that we really wanted to put some effort into, but we got thrown a curveball, and taking responsibility, I was not prepared for the curveball. So that's something that we're better prepared for part 2.
Cool. Thank you.
And I'd like to add, just based on my experience of going to a ton of cons, there's never any room to sit down in a con. The halls can be packed shoulder to shoulder, and people are sitting, eating on the floor, eating wherever they can find space. And I'd like to say, thanks to Kentucky, he's not here, who set up the food court area out there. That's got to be one of the first times I've seen an area at a con where you can actually eat food. But yeah, I think we had some space dedicated for the VIPs. We had a VIP room for people to set up in there. But yeah, it's tough to put chairs because people need to be able to move around, especially with fire code and those kinds of situations. But
Especially where we ended up having the vendor demonstration area, because of all the emergency exit rows or emergency exit doors that are right there, that it became a problem. That's why there was no place to sit. So I actually reached out to Demetrius Bistrevsky, and I was like, hey, do you think this is going to be an issue? He goes, no, I'm not going to have anybody sitting down. Trust me.
back on the swag, one thing I think we could talk more about is if you've ever been to Celebration, I'm sure you probably have. Yeah, they have fan tables, and a lot of those, and they're creating personalized swag for events, and I think that's something we can maybe talk about for next year, of getting more fan tables at the show.
Fan tables, community tables. Let's do it. Let's have a conversation.
Testing. Oh, okay.
Testing 1 2. Testing. Is this thing on?
I actually had just like a note that I liked about the con is that it was in the summer on the 26th after school, so the kids could come too. So I'm not trying to like debate or anything here, but I liked it how it was in the summer it was because when my mom told us about it, it was really exciting because it wasn't in the school days when we had like homework and we had to go to bed earlier and stuff like that. So it was a lot easier being in the summer because all the kids could come as well without it just being adults because they might have free time. So that's what I liked about it.
That's a great point, and that is something that was taken into consideration because I'm sure everybody in here, if you've spent any time in this convention, which you obviously have, you've seen all of my daughters. You've probably seen Beetlejuice running around here Thursday and Friday, and she was like, "No, I'm tired. I'm wearing pajamas for the rest of the convention." That's Jamie. She's in there right now. I just saw her run past the door.
Ew. Hey,
Heyo.
not to speak out of turn, I was just going to throw in there, just going back to the food options, and I know Josh had mentioned, talking about
Come on, get up here.
where in the, what time of the year the con will take place. I realize it's 100 degrees outside in the summer, so maybe if it were to be scheduled, maybe around like a holiday break or something like that, where the weather was a little bit more temperate, there's 15 or 20 restaurants right across the street. So that's just an option for in the future.
I think we were discussing that right before you came in. Do you want to join us up here? Come on.
Negative, sir. I'm fine back here.
I'm watching you. We have a question over here, guys.
No, if you have a question, you could ask one. No.
Well, she's been waiting for a minute.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Sorry, didn't see you back here.
I really enjoyed myself this weekend, and I don't have a question, just more of maybe a suggestion. You're talking
That's what I
about
wanna hear.
how your marketing was very targeted, and you may consider using like surrogates on social media. I heard about it on a TikTok post, and went, "Oh, I need to go do that."
Can I ask who's TikTok?
Codename Fulcrum. I won his contest, so that's why I'm here. And as soon as I found out that I won, I'm like, boom, Southwest, I'm on a plane. And otherwise, I wouldn't have known about it. And so I would be happy to be a surrogate for next year and
Thank you.
post it out there and whatnot. I personally loved the venue because I'm staying here because I don't live here. And when I would buy stuff in the vendor area or get signatures and whatnot, I could go and put the stuff in my room and not have to carry it around. So, and the fact that everything is so close. Like, have you ever been to the Gaylord, like trying to get to your room and back down to a big show floor or whatever? It's just a pain. So
Sure.
I really liked that aspect of it.
Gaylord is actually one of the venues that we were looking at down the road. That's something that we need to grow into, obviously.
Yeah.
I really, exactly to your point, this is why we had it in a hotel convention center. Because there's not, I can't tell you how many conventions I've attended, vended, and ran at this point, but it's a lot. And one of my least favorite things ever is having to pass on something that I really want on the vendor floor because I don't want to carry it around. And the vendors don't like that either because that's going to be some of their money-making items. Well, and they busted their butts getting that stuff to the venue, and those are always the last-second sales, and they never know how they did for the weekend until the very end. And being in a hotel convention center means exactly what you meant. It's let me just go ahead and grab this and take it up to the hotel room. Something else to that point for the people that are traveling. Next year, 100%, we will have a shipping department at a booth.
I was going to say that.
And get whatever you want. Take it over there. Here's my address. Let me pay for it. It's gonna be home before you are, or you can give them a date for delivery.
Yeah, that's a great idea because there were some things I didn't purchase for that very reason, but there were also things I did purchase. I have like 4 deliveries coming next week, which I'm excited about. I hope I remember everything that I bought. I don't even know. But anyways,
Don't trust me. Don't remember. It's like Christmas.
I won't remember it till I get my credit card statement. I'll be like, oh crap, I got to sell my house. Um, anyway, thanks very much. I had a great time.
Thank you for coming. By the way, also, as far as there she is, the star of the show. As far as Fulcrum and Gabriel Estrada, there are certain people that we wanted to be involved from the very beginning to help us grow this brand and awareness for this brand. You coming up here? I told you, pajamas. Look at this. She's ready to party.
Jenna and Josie did something in this picture.
Lovely. Where was I? What was I saying?
Welcome.
Oh, there were certain people that are very family friendly and very good for the community. And I might be putting myself on a high horse, but community needs to come first. And the people that we've discussed this event with that feel the same, those are the people that were invited. And those are the people that were featured guests. And those are the people that I made sure that got great conversations with our signers. And those are the people that they've already been given lifetime passes for them and a +1. And that's what we got to do. We got to be careful with the brand. We got to keep it family friendly. And we're going to be expanding that slowly based on who we meet through the years and as we go. What else we got? Yes, sir. You want to just take this other chair by now?
Well, it's feedback, right? That's what we're here.
That's what we're here for.
I got another 2-parter. So kind of going off exactly what you just said.
I think you're up to 16 now.
16. It's about to be 18. So what she was saying, what you just mentioned about kind of influencers or whatever you want to call them coming in. I also do the same thing, and I got lucky because she got the press pass as well, and I'm her +1. But we both have channels, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, I didn't hear about it, and we were actually at Galaxy's Edge one day together, and she got the message from Bobby, and we were both like, what is this? And we looked, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So then we very last minute, let's go. So if there could be, we both have channels. I know there's a lot of influencers in the Disney area where I am that could definitely get it out there. So that'd be cool to see, maybe in the future.
So let's talk about that for just a moment.
Yeah.
You mentioned, who did she talk to?
Bobby.
Bobby, as in one of the owners of the event.
Yeah.
Who is running around left and right, trying to make sure we get all the content. He is the host of the event, along with Mr. Kevin Lau behind you, who also just snuck in. So
I was busy selling in your vendor.
Thank you. So we're hoping for a trickle-down effect. We're hoping for, here's the people that we feel as though we can trust. A lot of the people that were invited, like you guys, with press passes, we've been watching y'all for a while. And we want to make sure just to continue to say we're being careful with our brand and making sure that people are appropriate and covering different aspects of the community so that everybody feels included. Mm-hmm. So we were very careful with who we invited this year. And then next year, when you guys are ready, if you have any suggestions when we start promoting, then I want y'all to reach out and say, hey, have y'all had a conversation with this person? And if you can put us in touch, we're happy to have a conversation. And of course, everybody will be vetted, but the plan was we wanted to start where everybody here on this side of the team, everybody here on this side of the event is very approachable. And we ourselves have had conversations with people where we can build these relationships from scratch and build a trust where we can grow not just horizontally, but also vertically. Mm-hmm. What else you got?
All right. It's the last one, I promise.
For now.
For now, yeah, until I think of something
Can I
else.
jump in real quick?
Of course.
Sorry, don't want to step on you. Just going to throw in there just to emphasize what Josh was saying. In the Star Wars community, there's no shortage of influencers. A lot of them have a negative spin on them. I think I just know it's very important to Josh and the Rebel Scum team to make sure that everything has a positive feel to it, and so it's really important to choose who we work with. Not to say that criticism is bad, but there's a way you can always have criticism in a positive or constructive way. There's too many people out there that are just way too negative.
So listen, y'all could be sitting here and saying, you did this, you did this, you did this, we don't like it. Instead, we're having a conversation, and it's turning into you guys are helping to build next year. And that's why I wanted to do this way, to Joey's point.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, it's kind of perfect segue. Talking about next year, to kind of keep people to come back for next year for part 2, would there be any kind of like, hey, you were here for our very first year, you were kind of like the guinea pigs, like the test dummies. Here's a 10% discount on your tickets to next year to make sure you come back. Is anything like that coming? Or any talks about something like that?
So what we're doing, thank you for bringing it up, because I was going to try to find a spot to have this conversation towards the end, which I don't think we're towards the end quite yet. I'm putting together something that we're calling Founders Club, okay? 2 parts of that. First of all, tickets are not going to be this expensive next year. This was to help us cover some of the startup costs, some of the additional labor that it took to help and start building these teams that we have to put in place. So tickets are not going to be as expensive. The vendor tickets, the vendor booths are not going to be as expensive. We need to be saving people money every place we can, because that's how we've been promoting this. The entire point of what we're doing is trying to give an affordable alternative. Everybody loves Celebration. Not everybody can afford to go to Celebration. That's what it comes down to. So we're trying, and like I'm not gonna miss a Celebration in the US, but I'm not going to Japan when I have to take care of this little one and I have my wife and 2 other daughters to worry about. I gotta be dad just as much as I gotta be Captain Star Wars up here. I mean,
I swear he's a fan.
yeah. So, Founders Club. Founders Club is going to be, you're going to have first access to tickets. We're trying, and instead of trying to give a 10% discount or any kind of discount to a group, I'm trying to give everybody a discount whenever we can. Like if I can save people money, it's going to be everybody. And if we can, there will definitely be perks to the Founders Club stuff. First come, first serve. You know how like if you bought VIP for SDCC last year, you get first access this year? Yeah. So Founders Club is how that's going to work. I don't care what pass you get. You know, if you get a press pass, if you get whatever it is. Like if you were issued press passes, has Bobby talked to you guys yet?
For this year, he issued it. He hasn't talked to me about next year or anything yet.
The people that were issued press passes, after we see your content come out, you're going to be offered a lifetime pass.
Well, my phone filled up today, 130 gigs worth of footage, so.
Oh, let's see it.
I can look for that.
Did anybody else hear that sigh out of the corner? Joey goes, oh, there's 130 gigs of content. Man.
Also, I do want to read it. Like, I don't want it to seem like we're like nitpicking or like it genuinely has been the best convention I've ever been to.
This is exactly what I wanted out of. You can't even call this a panel at any point. It's a conversation with microphones. So this is
that's what a panel is, Josh.
What's that?
That's kind of what a panel is.
Also, your dad's collection out there, I've never seen a vendor like that at any convention either. I was blown away.
Don't tell him that. His head's big enough.
He can't hear us. Well, it is recorded.
It's recorded.
Joey can edit that out.
All right, we got something else. What you got, big guy?
I just wanted to say,
I live in Florida, and just going back to like not knowing, finding out early. I knew about this 6 months ago, and I prepared for it 6 months ago, and
How many conventions do you go to?
a lot. I've been to so many
You
celebrations.
were targeted.
Okay. So, I guess what I'm getting at is, I am not technology, and me and technology do not get along. So I knew about this from social media 6 months ago. So if people are just finding out about it now, I don't know how, but so if I can find out about it, anybody can.
It's the trickle down effect. It's probably with you guys. You probably. Oh, I think you said somebody shared it with you, right? Right. So there's certain groups and certain pages that the fans were targeted because we know that. Like I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room on my side. There was a group called Rate That Comic Con. Okay, that is the most negative group I've ever seen in my life. And we showed up on there, and some people are not happy with me, and I'm going to take responsibility for it, and I already have. That being said, there are other groups like the community of Star Wars collectors that you get in there, and it is a family of people. People go on there and they say, hey, my mom's in the hospital. Can anybody, help cheer me up? And they spend hours and hours and hours building threads. And it's all positivity, and it's all the point that we're trying to do with this is bring this community back together, because there's forces out there trying to tear it apart. And Star Wars is supposed to be about, there's this one giant thing that everybody that is here this weekend loves, and somehow we got away from that, and that's what I'm trying to get back to. So as far as the targeting goes, the point is that it's very specific groups that we went after and very specific conventions that were targeted. So like MegaCon. I love MegaCon. That's my whole hometown show, and I try to go every single year if I can. The people that run it have been great. I know I think it's Fan Expo show now, right? So, but the original team, they were amazing for the longest time. That's why they got bought up. They were awesome. I'm getting so far off track.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to give you props for having the guts to do this and rolling it out for your first year. You know as well as every convention you go to, vendors are gonna complain about something and stuff.
I saw you forming a B with your lips.
Yeah, I almost yes. But for your first year, I think you knocked it out of the park, and I can't wait for the years to follow. So, congrats.
Thank you very much. What else? Yes, sir. Hold on, that mic.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but this is my first convention. It's been really awesome. I've noticed this camera in every single panel and workshop, and I heard that's going up on the website. When can we expect to see the panels? Because I missed Saturday. And
if you think 130 gigs is a lot, each one of those cameras has several memory cards that are 256 that are filled up.
I'm doing my best to keep on top of that. Yeah, going every night. I'm grabbing the cards and dumping them. So yeah.
Perfect. There you go. So
it's a question for Joey.
Yeah. So to answer your question, yeah. So on rebelscum.com, the goal is to have at least one post a day, whatever I can fit in, and on top of my day job that I do. And so yeah, I'm going on vacation this upcoming week. I'm scheduling posts throughout the week, and then when I get back, yeah, we're gonna start feeding in the other panels and stuff that's been recorded. A couple of them are already up.
In the meantime, we have another guy that that works on the team who will be putting out clips and highlights of the event overall, and that's already started, along with influencers like Fulcrum and Gabe, who have been posting since they got here. So as far as the actual panels, the reason that we did that, the reason that every single panel has been recorded It's because we have a lot of people in the community that love Star Wars that can't travel. They have health issues. They have all kinds of stuff going on in their lives. Everybody has jobs. You got bills to pay. I get it. That doesn't mean this content should be behind a paywall because we're having fun. You know, that I didn't even get to see the Ahmed panel.
Neither did I.
Either one of them.
Yeah.
But I heard that they were amazing and people were crying when they left.
Happy tears. Happy tears.
Kevin said the first one was who hosted that one? Kevin Lau hosted that one.
There's 4 panels up on the site right now, so they're trickling in, like you were saying.
Which site?
Our site, rebelscum.com.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
He's going for 19 and 20.
Can I just throw one more thing out there? Just talking about visibility on, you know, hearing about the con through social media and that kind of thing. Again, not to speak out of turn, there's a budget for everything with every convention. Marketing is one of them. So we had
Marketing is the biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest budget. It's marketing and then venue costs and then staff and then everything else.
So I was there was somebody else on the team that was handling the marketing and real social push and everything, but he had said that specifically you can go in and target people who attend conventions in your area, and so that was one of the things that we were hitting the most repeat convention goers. Just that's an algorithm you can push. So if this is your first con, that's what I'm getting at. So if maybe that's why you didn't see it as much, since you don't fall in that particular algorithm.
But in addition, it wasn't like we just targeted every convention goer.
Correct.
It's not like we went to, you know, Joe Schmoecon in, you know, Albuquerque. It was, we put our targeting behind the conventions that we also want to support.
So the more conventions you attend, the more convention ads you're going to see.
So I guess we could do one more question. I want to leave time for our giveaway. We have a very fancy giveaway for this panel.
Who's got the mic? Well, I think let's do 2 more.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I really like the sabacc table, but next year as a recommendation, I think you should do like a donation and you get blue milk or something to help bring the galaxy to real life, kind of like how they do at Disney World. I don't know if that's a limitation that Disney would put on you, but I just think that'd be a cool idea.
So blue milk specifically? So
I think they had a donation to Ronald McDonald House at the Sabacc.
True Moo was one of the partners for this event. They put out blue milk this season for the first time ever. If you haven't tried it, you might have missed your opportunity because they decided to cut their run short this year, which ended, I think it either ends this week, like this week that we're ending today, or next week is when the run ends. So if you haven't tried it yet, go find it because it's about to be gone. That is the only reason we didn't have it here. It was extremely limited supplies. It sold out way faster than anybody expected. And I can tell you that they will be moving forward with blue milk as a seasonal thing every year. And I could not be happier to say that they will be involved next year.
And if you do find it, don't leave it mint and packaged. Please just drink that.
Then it's blue yogurt. Yeah, I'll try not to rant.
Yeah. Hopefully this will be just 2 quick suggestions just for navigation here within. It'd be nice if there was like a poster or something out in front of each room saying this time this panel's coming on. And then what was done on the website, well, I appreciate that there was all that information and I saw when you scrolled down, something to like download so I could print and take it with me if you're not gonna have an app.
Do you have your phone with you?
I do. Was it in there and I didn't see it?
Can you look at the back of your?
Well, I saw that too. I saw that once I got here, but I didn't know what I was going to have once I got here. So I made a spreadsheet and color coded before I got here.
So
just because I like to know where I'm going.
Not to
I
throw
forget.
anybody under the bus because it's my responsibility. We had signs made. We had digital signs made for all of these rooms that have the TVs out. Some of those TVs were not functioning the way that they were supposed to. That's 1. 2, even though I had gotten approval to put signage up on the wall, every time I put one up, it was taken down.
Gotcha. I've seen it. I mean, we haven't gone to many cons. We've only gone to one other one 2 times, but
You're
They-
100% right though.
yeah,
and
they just put it like on a board, you know, on a like the display boards, you know, just have a poster out there. So just something easier to be able to see.
You're 100% right, and that is something that we will be doing moving forward.
This year, the AR app, I think if you hover it over the signage out in front, it actually gives you the con panel schedule for that day.
Yeah, if
And that's something we didn't advertise enough. Mhm.
So I mentioned a minute ago, a little while ago, I guess. Calm down, man. I mentioned that there was stuff that we were waiting on to get into the program. Well, we waited as long as we possibly could, and we had to get the program up because there's coding and stuff that is involved with that. So I wanted to get the full program available much, much sooner. That's something that we dropped the ball on our team. Part of that was our art director was severely inundated. One of the other main artists on the team is my wife's little sister, who's giving birth tomorrow. She might have been occupied.
Speaking on like affordability, like you had mentioned for everybody, it would be nice if in the ticket package, if you got the 4-day or the VIP, if parking was included, because it's $10 per day. And so that would have been an additional $40 because I bought the 4-day pass. So
It was 25, and I did as much as I could to get it down.
And that's just more of a Marriott thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's not something that I have any control
Yeah.
over. The one thing I was able to fight for tooth and nail is the people that booked a room here. I said, if you guys charge them, we will be leaving.
Mm.
So like
To park.
I'm sorry?
They said I'm getting charged $19 a day for parking here. I came for the whole weekend.
And you stayed in the room?
Did
you're
you
not.
did you book through the site?
I
Please.
didn't book through yours because I stayed an extra night and I could only book the days that the con was going.
That might have been
So
it.
I had to go through Marriott in order to get 4 days instead of
When you go to check out, please ask to speak to a manager and let them know that you were here for this event, and they should be able to take care of that for you. And if they don't, come and find me. Anybody else?
Of course.
Here you go.
All right, last question.
It's not so much a question, it's a suggestion and an appreciation, because the one thing I've loved so much about this con are the panels and how they've been deep cuts, like the Boba Fett stunt actors, the Ewok actors, the prequel with Ayla Secura, and then Ahmed Best being here. So I hope that style of panel, like, yeah, everybody wants to see Hayden and Ewan, and of course, like, if Mark would come through the doors, we'd all lose our minds. But the panels that
I
you
said I
had,
wanted to keep it affordable, right?
yeah, but I just, like, as it continues to grow, and even just for next year, panels like you've had here, like the celebrities, they've been off. They're not like the mainstream spotlight, but the stories they have and the stories, like the original trilogy panel was the best one. Like, I went and bought Kevin's book because of the panel yesterday. So I hope that's something that, like, we can keep with, like, the deep, like, oh, we got stories because we were the stuntmen and we're not under NDA. We can tell you, yeah, I threw up in my stormtrooper helmet, like things like that. I love it.
Have you guys ever seen somebody so comfortable on a panel stage? Anthony Daniels, Tony's a hoot, man. That guy's a maniac. He's been doing it longer than anybody else and more. Listen, all that I'll tell you guys is thank you very much for the feedback. It is my responsibility of the leader of our team to make sure that we are taking responsibility not only for the good parts, but also making sure that we are learning and growing every time we do this, and making sure that everybody is as happy and loves our experience as possible. Speaking of which, who doesn't like free stuff?
So from our sponsors at Big Bad Toy Store, we have the the Hot Toys, Blurg and Kui here. To make these guys a complete set. This thing is massive.
That's a Blur. That's not a massive.
So I hope you have room in your suitcase, or you have a way to ship this back. So we're going to give you the rider too, so he's not just by himself. And I thought we'd keep this Mandalorian themed. And I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be too easy or too difficult, but who knows the name of the planet that Qui was on, that the Mandalorian visited, that had the blurgs on? That hand went up instantly.
It's a trick question because it was not a planet. What are you talking about?
Oh, true. Yeah, that's right. No, let's clap. We have coins and bags and stuff. We went through the prize list.
I want to give some more stuff away.
You want to give some of the...
What do you say? You know, what's that?
Patch that.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's give away some patch. We're going to put together a swag bag that has a set of our patches, the exclusives for the weekend for those of you who didn't get to complete it. By the way, also made by that gentleman right over there. You don't work for the convention, you work with the convention, sir. Of course. Hey, Kevin, what's the name of the trash compactor monster? Yeah, that's no, okay.
Yes, we all heard it, Kevin.
I did not. Some of us have been working.
I had asked, did Luke Skywalker kill the dino? And the answer is
No.
Yes.
yes, he did. He blew up the Death Star 2 hours later. I know. It's a trick question.
Captain Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen.
By that logic, he also killed all the wives and families that were on the Death Star.
I didn't ask about why.
Rebel scum.
And the baristas.
You rebel scum. Gotcha.
Okay, so I guess stick around and we'll get you that swag bag Josh was talking about.
How many people we got in here? How many families? You guys got all the swag, right? Didn't you? Most of it. All right. Come over to the Rebel Scum merch booth. I know we're getting ready to close this down in here. I just want to show my appreciation for all the feedback, and we'll see you guys next year.
Let you go out to the thank you. Go in through the exit there and hang it right. It's the big booth that's right there by the door.
Thank you.